Japan. Known for its rich traditions and serene ambience, maintains social harmony through unspoken rules of conformity. Within this conformity lies a chilling narrative, explored in Yoko Ogawa's The Memory Police. The novel delves into themes of memory, identity, and societal pressure. Set in a dystopian world, The Memory Police aim to erase individuality and dissent. However, beneath this eerie tale lies a profound examination of Japanese conformity, where the struggle for identity clashes with societal norms. This analysis of the novel's characters will explore their correlation to real-life historical events that have influenced Japan's conformist culture, hindering the preservation of individual identity and personal thought. The Memory Police is a science fiction novel written by Japanese author Yoko Ogawa, published in 1994. The basic premise of this novel is that objects disappear without explanation, and memories of those objects are also erased. The story follows a novelist who lives on an island under the rule of an impressive force known as the Memory Police. Things take a dark turn when the Memory Police turn more violent and brutal in their ways to seek out people who do not lose their memories of the objects, one of them being the novelist's editor, R. With the help of her friend, the old man, the protagonist hides R in her house as the disappearing objects become those that are more precious and personal. The protagonist is an introspective, unnamed female novelist living on the island under the regime of the Memory Police. Both her parents died when she was a young girl, leading to live the rest of her life in solitude, but with the warm accompaniment of her neighbors and friends. The protagonist is an interesting character. On one hand, she is the embodiment of the conventional Japanese who is compliant, complacent, and conforming. Just like every other civilian in the story, she accepts the disappearances and moves on from them. But on the contrary, through the influence of people who retain their memories, they shape her perception of protecting memories and freedom of thought. But ultimately, she crumbles under the oppression and is left slowly disappearing into obscurity at the end of the story, mirroring the sad reality of Japanese individuals in a socially pressuring society. The protagonist's situation can be seen in conjunction with a concept that has ties to history and the early influence of conformity on Japanese culture: Confucianism. The introduction of Confucianism in Japan can be traced back to as early as the 3rd through 5th century. Confucianism was a philosophy that had central values of mutual respect and kindness towards others, and it was believed that by achieving this would bring peace and stability in society. Confucian beliefs stressed the importance of family and social harmony, as well as the importance of the individual playing their role well in society. This essentially set the foundation for conformist attitudes in early Japan. So, how does Confucianism translate over to the protagonist? Well, the protagonist serves as a representation of Japanese individuals grappling with the pressures of conformity within society, which originated from Confucianism. Social harmony within Japan may incite Japanese individuals to feel compelled to adhere to what society expects them to do, even at the expense of their own identity and autonomy. The protagonist does make an effort to reveal a rebellious side to her character, since she helps hide R from the Memory Police when she could have let him be taken away. Her sympathy makes her stand up against the rules. Even her reaction to people being taken away by the Memory Police and her willingness to protect and support others when they were in trouble highlight her inherent kindness and moral fortitude. But as the Memory Police progressively become more violent in their tactics to enforce the erasure of memories and objects, the protagonist faces the internal conflict whether to resist at the risk of being deemed an outsider. These internal struggles and external conflicts underscore the real-life psychological and emotional toll of conformity on Japanese individuals. The character's journey serves as a poignant reminder of the challenges of navigating societal expectations while striving to maintain a sense of self in a culture that values collective uniformity. The Memory Police are a unified collective made up of men whose goal is to destroy disappeared objects and hunt down those who remember. In a way, they represent the invisible societal pressure that puts shame on people who are different. Their goal of collectively erasing memories from every inhabitant on the island is also relatable to the erasure of personal identity through societal pressure. The goal and depiction of the memory police heavily align with the submissive and repressive characteristics of the Edo period. The Edo period, also known as the Tokugawa period, lasted between 1603 and 1868 and is when Neo-Confucianism, an updated version of Confucianism, rose to prominence as the official guiding philosophy during that period. Japan underwent massive change during that time with rapid economic growth, shift in societal culture, and reforms in politics, customs, and the arts. The Edo period particularly saw a reinforcement of this idea of conformity through the implementation of a strict four-tiered class system, which consisted of warriors that were the highest class, followed by farmers, artisans, and merchants. The Edo period gave rise to the infamous samurai, who were among this warrior class. And although they made up a small percentage of the population, they held great power and superiority over the peasant classes, not only because they made up the government, but there were in fact laws that allowed samurai to be legally entitled to kill any peasant if they disrespected them, called Burei Uchi and Kiri Sutegomen. Thus, this was a testament to how authoritarian the samurai actually were. The samurai and the memory police share similarities in their authoritative presence and control over the population, particularly through their power to eliminate people. As we've mentioned before, historically samurai had the legal right to execute those of lower class for disrespect, mirroring the memory police's ability to eliminate those who retain memories. This practice further entrenched societal divisions and reinforced rigid class structures. Similarly, the samurai class and the memory police both operated as exclusive groups. The samurai class was inaccessible to farmers, merchants, or artisans due to predetermined classes, much like how ordinary civilians could not join the memory police. The hereditary Edo class system ensured that societal status was inherited and switching between classes was prohibited, solidifying group distinctions and erasing individual identity within the collective. R is the unnamed protagonist's editor whose memories are unaffected by the disappearances, which makes him a target of the memory police, and he goes into hiding with the help of the protagonist and the old man. He is a symbol of stability in the protagonist's life who brings security and composure in a time of chaos. He is someone who helps her maintain her connection to her craft, voice, and identity in a time where individuality is suppressed. As a defiant of the norm, R's character directly aligns with the youth of the freedom movement who objected to the mainstream structure of Japanese society. Following the Edo period, Japan experienced rapid modernization and economic growth post-World War II. This period saw a surge in employment, with the government emphasizing the value of hard work and loyalty to employers, giving rise to the salaryman culture. By the 1980s, Japan experienced an economic boom that led to extensive employment benefits, reinforcing corporate loyalty and social conformity. Traditionally, young individuals were expected to graduate, secure stable jobs, and devote their careers to their company, hence the term salaryman. These individuals prioritize work over family and may even overwork themselves to death. By the 1990s, Japan experienced a recession and saw many young people unable to secure stable jobs, leading to the emergence of the freedom movement. Individuals who rejected the traditional career path were called freeders, and they pursued alternative lifestyles such as freelance work or creative endeavors, or even dropping out of mainstream society entirely. But despite these shifts, the pressure to conform to societal norms and expectations still remain ingrained in Japanese culture, and stigma still surrounds the freeders who do not pursue the traditional path of career. Like the freeders who reject mainstream culture, R is symbolic of them. While others succumb to the erasure of memories and objects, R preserves his memories and resists the oppression of the memory police. He basically refuses to become a salaryman and liberates himself from the grip of societal pressure. Also taking into consideration when this novel was written, which was 1994, at the height of the freedom movement, there's no unlikelihood that Ogawa may have been influenced or inspired by circumstances that she was perceiving during that time. The old man is the unnamed protagonist's nurse's husband, whom she is very close friends with. He used to be a ferry mechanic until ferries disappeared, and along with everybody else, he is affected by the disappearances and moves on from them. A concept reinforcing conformity in modern-day Japan is the collectively accepted ideology of collectivism. Japan is a predominantly collectivist society compared to Western countries like the US, which means that the goals and needs of the group are prioritized over individual aspirations. While embracing collectivism does have its positive aspects, such as stronger interpersonal relationships and better cooperation, it does present a strong emphasis on social harmony and conformism that can negatively impact individuals' self-autonomy. In the case of the old man, as mentioned, the old man was once a ferry mechanic. He dedicated himself to this profession until the memory police eliminated boats entirely. Although we can't confirm how he feels post-disappearance of ferries in the novel, it's evident he retains an attachment to them. See, he skulks around the defunct ferry, symbolizing his lingering connection. Despite this, he suppresses his occupation for the island's betterment, mirroring the fear-induced compliance among civilians. This fear extends to personal beliefs and actions, highlighting the influence of the memory police on individual lives. As a whole, Ogawa's The Memory Police gives us an insight into the real-life memory police condition in Japanese society, where conforming to standards that erase the sense of self is encouraged and obligated. But on a positive note for Japan, mental health awareness is increasing its reach across the country, and many are starting to speak up. With an emphasis on one's emotional well-being and happiness, maybe Japan can avoid another dystopian happening. But we'll never know. Oh well.